Oh God, I hate asking the internet for help, but
I need help.
I am needing some help with moving expenses.
just donate anything that you can.
I'm asking for your help.
The best thing that you can do to support me right now.
Right now I'm needing about $5,000.
I need at least another 1,000.
I don't know how much I need. Send me any kind of mutual aid.
I mean, I know you say that you hate asking the internet for money, and I do believe that because every time you ask the internet for money, it looks like you hate it. And I know you would never get hysterical if there was absolutely no reason at all, Roger. I mean, you're not crazy like that.
Please. I need your help. I had to move out of my studio because my landlord was harassing me. My cat was getting tased.
Wait, your cat was getting tased? I feel like if your cat were getting tased, we would have already heard about this. Plus, I noticed you deleted a lot of things to beg for money this time. I also noticed that you had turned your account private for a couple of weeks too. But I downloaded a bunch of stuff before you went to private. So I've got everything I need to record this video. But let me tell you, Roger, at some point, the jig is up for you.
And then he stole all of my money. And the only reason why I moved there was because I had to evacuate.
Now, this is where I'm going to point out, because people will feel bad for Roger, and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a spoiler. Roger has started a GoFundMe. It's for $15,000. I'll go ahead and read it to you guys in a minute here. But what I've noticed when it comes to Roger is the language tends to be very manipulative. You notice that he didn't have to move out of his last studio. He had to evacuate. That's to play on your emotions and make it seem more dramatic than it was when they were having the problem at the hotel, which was all, again, him making a problem because he wanted everybody to wear N95 masks. And let's talk about that really quick. How are you affording this lifestyle if you're broke all the time?
Because the wrong side of the internet literally hunted me down because of anti-trans stuff.
I've seen a lot of the comments on a lot of their posts, and I don't see transphobia. I see a lot of people trolling and telling him to get a job. I see a lot of people saying that they're glad that he's in this position, which you can argue is shady, but it's what people are saying. I personally think it's kind of funny, just because people are so ruthless in the comments, but I don't see any transphobia in any of the things that I've noticed. So I really feel like that part is just Roger making it up.
Like, oh God. I tried to help a loved one out of a domestic situation this summer, and I literally lost everything.
And why have we not heard about this before? You are the biggest victim on the internet. I feel like if all these stories had really happened, and this is just my opinion, but I really feel like if all these stories had really happened, I think you would have capitalized on all of them. And I think we would have seen TikTok posts about all of these things. I find it hard to believe that you would ever do anything for anybody that would be considered nice and possibly put yourself out without reporting that to the internet so everybody would know what an angel you are.
I lost everything, including my own sanity.
Okay, you're not going to blame losing your sanity on anything other than the fact that you just weren't really born with it.
I feel like my brain is broken. I feel like my heart is broken. I feel like everything in me is breaking. My body is falling apart and I can't afford the doctor's appointments to get the scans that I need. They found a variation on my spine and I can't get the follow-up scans.
You have the worst luck in the world, Roger, because one of the last times you were begging for money, you said,
Just found out that I'm allergic to bees and apparently wasps, and I have to get an EpiPen, but I can't afford an EpiPen because it costs $750 without insurance. I also am supposed to see the doctor, the retina specialist, to get scans on my eyeball because there's a nevus, a mole, on the back of my eye that they think might be cancer, but I can't get it scanned to make sure that it's not. I literally can't afford my emergency inhaler.
And now you've got a growth on your spine. I swear, Roger, I don't think you're going to make it through the year. I feel like people are wasting their money by sending it to you in the first place, since clearly the prognosis is not good, girl.
To figure out what it is. I can't afford any of my medication, including my inhaler. Every time I feel like I have solid ground to stand on, it's quicksand. I can't sleep. I can't eat.
I think that's the lyrics to an Anita Baker song.
I can't eat, I cannot sleep.
Body and Soul. Is that what it's called?
I just pray all the time for a miracle. I can't live like this anymore, and I can't get out of this on my own, and I don't know how to get out of this hole that I'm in. I can't do this anymore. I don't know what to do. Like, my faith in God is impermeable, but my faith in humanity is being lost.
You know, you've got a lot of nerve, young lady. I'm going to be really honest. When you say that your faith in humanity is being lost and you've been living off of the kindness of strangers for at least the last year, you've been selling products through orders that you can't actually fulfill on. People keep sending you money. You had a rent-to-own car that got repossessed when you went to the hospital for your stay, but nonetheless, you didn't ever say you had a problem paying for your rent-to-own car. So where did the money come from for that? Then you've been living in hotels, which the hotels you're living at are a minimum of $100 a night. You weren't staying in some no-tell motel. Where is the money coming from, Roger? How is it you're this broke, but somehow you're affording this lifestyle?
At least I have this car. I spent almost all of the money I have left getting this car.
Oh, and you had enough money to buy a car? Did you buy the car cash, or did you actually put it on payments? Either way, down payment isn't cheap. Where is all this money coming from, Roger? I mean, if anybody should have faith in humanity, it should be a constant mooch that's always having their bills paid by strangers on the internet.
So that at least we have a place to go. I'm tired of breaking down, and I can't stop crying, and please check out my GoFundMe.
Why don't you just try getting a job? Instead of the GoFundMes and you're saying that you're gonna do orders that you're not gonna do, why don't you just get a job? How's that for an idea, Roger? I was doing a little bit of math. I believe I saw that it was $7.50 was the average for minimum wage in this country. You are asking for $15,000 on your GoFundMe. The average minimum wage worker would have to work roughly a year in order to be able to come up with $15,000. But it doesn't seem to bother you at all to ask for it, even though you say you hate asking the internet for money.
Please check out my shop. Please donate mutual aid.
Okay, I'm so tired of this term mutual aid. The problem with you and mutual aid, Roger, is the mutual aid is not mutualing. I believe that the mutual in mutual aid may be silent for you because it doesn't seem very mutual.
My account, please, I just need help. Thank you.
What's up, everybody? Ty Rivera here, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world. Before we go any further, I'm just going to ask that you like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to leave a comment just to help me on the algorithm, but you don't know what to comment, just leave a knife. Because eventually, Roger will find these videos and he will come for my neck. Alright, so in case you can't tell, I'm particularly short this time because I'm really beginning to blame whoever it is that is donating money to this loser at this point. Whoever you are, you need to realize that you are not helping, you are not sending mutual aid. What you're doing is enabling. And by the end of this video, I will tell you guys with a receipt what I think is really going on with Roger. Also, for anybody that's not familiar, this person's name is Azlan T. Bird, otherwise known as Birdie, otherwise known as Aurora. I refer to him as Roger. And I know that we're dealing with a biological female here.
I am an assigned female at birth, femme, non-binary person.
I also refer to him as him, just to be a troll, because he's already let it be known that
I am not a man.
Even though he has practically a neck beard. But they're a TikTok personality that's constantly panhandling, always looking for a handout, never wants to get a job. I don't know why, even though I did find video of them when they did have a job at a point and they were trying to make that business go under.
Just because a company is willing to take our money and exploit our labor does not mean that it's safe for us. There is no question about the transphobia and the ableism that Blunt Pretzels perpetuates. The general manager himself, on his own volition, told me, yeah, Eddie discriminates against you.
But here's the deal. This person is such a beggar and is trying to act like this is foreign to them when I've been watching them do it for months now. And like I said, I have the receipts on this one. So Roger did at a point put out a video where he was asking for $5,000. We'll go ahead and listen to that really quick.
I just realized that I'm wearing the same shirt, I think, as my last update video, but I haven't worn this shirt since. I am looking at a place to move in, and I am needing some help with moving expenses.
Wait, didn't you just say in the most recent video that you hate asking the internet for money?
I'm struggling to, my new medication affects my nervous system so intensely that it's hard for me to walk, it's hard for me to type, it's hard for me to really do much of anything. So
Might as well beg. I get it.
I'm taking it one step at a time, still like Jordan Sparks. But right now I'm needing about $5,000 to get me through this next bit. And then with the move-in of what we're looking at is like mid-October. I'm antsy because also the new meds, but so sorry if people get dizzy listening to this. My staccato talking is what I call it, has gotten much more difficult, and I have cotton candy brain like no other. But there's still joy, so cotton candy brain is an adequate description, as a sweet bee friend of mine pointed out yesterday. Yeah, and it's I have muscle tremors, and it's...
We get it, Roger. You're really laying it on thick, though. Because it seems like every time you record a video, everything seems to be in working order. But right now, when you're begging for $5,000, suddenly, oh, it all hurts and I can barely move. And okay, Roger, we get it. Do you think that you are the first scammer that we've ever seen? But it seems to be working for you. People are still falling for it.
I think I might honestly be on too high of a dose.
You think?
But because I'm just so little, I'm literally child size. But I just wanted to send out the quick thing and put my links here and say thank you to all of you, because I literally would not be able to be doing this without all of you. Like, y'all's donations have literally been able to get me like groceries and the things that I need and the things that the cats need, and so it's all been used for those kinds of things.
You sound a little guilty, Roger. You sound a little bit like you may not be using things for exactly what you say you're using them for.
And little tiny bits of joy throughout.
Little bits of joy. Wouldn't it be nice to live off other people's money and to be able to experience little bits of joy on other people's dime?
Yeah, and I'm doing my best, and I've been working on a project to start working with my hands again, because that's incredibly difficult right now. You can't really tell right now, but I walk like a little wooden person. Anyways, I'm not gonna edit this. This is just gonna be gay out, and now gay is out. Bye. But gay is always in.
I swear, Roger is probably the most obnoxious person on the internet. So anyway, after Roger went ahead and posted that, then the internet decided to troll him, and I thought this was absolutely hilarious.
Y'all, please stop requesting money from me on Venmo when I ask for help. It's really not okay. And it's really, really hard for me to try to delete all of them. And I know that the intention is to be cruel, but like, please stop. And also, when I see those high numbers go into my email, I think I'm being helped.
You think the grift is paying off? I know that must be extremely disappointing to feel like you're really being able to cash in on your grift finally, and then it turns out it's a bunch of people trolling you on the internet. I don't know, Roger. It sounds like the internet may have tricked you into having at least a little bit of a job. How does it feel to work an honest day?
And I think that I'm getting the help that I need, and instead it's somebody requesting $500 for a toothbrush. Like, please stop. Come on, it's not cool.
You're breaking my heart, Toots. Okay, so now let's get to the GoFundMe, because this GoFundMe has actually been up for a couple of weeks. I saw it before he actually had put his TikTok on private, which was a sad, sad couple of weeks there. But I'm gonna read it to you guys. It is for $15,000. And I hate to disappoint everybody, but Roger is currently up to $4,488. Yes, yesterday when I had checked it, when I first saw him crying online, thank you to the people who alerted me to this, he was only at like $2,000, which is still a lot to do absolutely nothing but beg and cry on the internet. But he's already up to $4,488. And so what the GoFundMe says is help Azlan heal and thrive. So it starts off by saying, written by a dear friend who wishes to stay anonymous. They've known me since I was a teenager. It's probably one of his other personalities that developed when he was a teenager. Anyway, howdy humans. Azlan is a dear friend who needs help getting back on their feet after a severe mental health crisis. Sounds like he's going through one right now, but let's go on. In the years I've known them, they have held on to a light inside of them that can be hard to hold when one sees and feels a lot of the pain in this world. Azlan has survived more than most people would be able to and hold on to themselves, and deserves to know who they are when they are not in consistent life crisis. How about a job? That's what I would suggest. Anyway, the kind that are so hard to escape when someone is disabled and unable to work in traditional ways and spent years misdiagnosed. After ending up in the hospital, they currently have no financial resources to get them back on their feet. They are finally on meds that are working and see a path forward. Let's help that path be gentler and get them housed and cared for while they continue to recover and get grounded in themselves. Don't we all wish we had the time and absolutely no pride so that we could just beg on the internet? Just take a load off. Just get your life together. Think about it. Let's send you $15,000 so you can... Right, here we go. Many of you have followed Azlan on Instagram or TikTok. These platforms aren't currently a good place for them to be as they figure out next steps for what is needed to get stable. Bipolar is a disorienting and incredibly stressful disorder, and success in healing and stabilizing is so often found in reducing stressors in environment. I'm asking that we raise $15,000 to get them back on their feet. Azlan is a working artist. No, actually, he's not a working artist. He actually keeps putting off sending out orders, which is something that has apparently been a pattern if I'm to believe some of the other videos that I've seen on his TikTok. But let's keep going with the grift. Azlan is a working artist who is multi-disabled and has been brilliant about loopholing systems to stay independent. I don't really know that he is independent if he keeps having to ask for money. Is that the way independence works? Did I get it wrong? Maybe I don't know the meaning of the word independence. Anyway, they need a break now to heal and get back to a place of stability from which then can create and support themselves. I would imagine that was meant to say from which they can create and support themselves again. Many people who are disabled never get the resources to live the lives they deserve. And I refuse to let someone who loves so big and who for the first time in their life, wrong spelling of there, but okay, and for the first time in their life sees a way forward not to be held up while they land. If you have folks in your life with resources to spare, or you do, we would love your help. Azlan is asking that part of what you are willing to share in mutual aid with them is also shared with the GoFundMe link here. Well, where else are people sending him money? How many ways does Roger want people to send him money? So many people are struggling right now, and building care webs and practicing mutual aid is how we will see each other into a kinder world. Anything you can give will be life-changing for them. And for the people whose fundraiser is attached, please share this widely so we can take the stress of fundraising for survival off of them. Thank you, loves. And then he's got a donation for $10, one donation for $1,000, another one for $50, $15. There's a part of me that feels bad for these people, but then at the same time, I'm sure they're all adults, and like the old saying goes, a sucker is born every day. And as long as you guys continue to enable Roger, Roger is going to continue to ask you guys for money. That's the way it works. If you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to come back the next day for a glass of milk. And Roger is here for all the cookies and all the milk. So let's go ahead and see how Roger's attitude has turned around now that he has $4,000 on his GoFundMe. Because he posted another video today, apparently, to update us all.
I keep thinking about how yesterday I said that my faith in humanity is being lost, and I want to correct that. I don't think that's actually true because I keep getting shown that angels are everywhere.
Okay, so your faith in humanity was lost yesterday, but now that you've got $4,000 on your GoFundMe, now you're surrounded by angels.
And I think my mind has been, my reality has been really skewed by the fact that I've been stuck on the wrong side of the internet.
Okay, can we stop saying stuck on the wrong side of the internet? Because you don't have to be on the internet like you are. That's one thing. And the other thing is, you could simply block every person that you feel is negative, but you know that you need their engagement in order for your word to spread and in order for the grift to continue, because a part of your grift is making it look like everybody's bullying you. So as long as you can fool some of these idiots into believing that you're constantly under attack and that you're the victim, they will continue to send you money. And yeah, that money will over time get less and less, but it seems like over the last year, you've been able to make enough money in donations that who knows when that's going to run out. And I feel like as long as you can conjure up some fake tears every once in a while, people are going to continue to send you money.
For a year and a half now, but literally in 24 hours, y'all have reached 20% of my GoFundMe goal. Thank you so much. I feel like I can breathe a little bit better.
Yeah, it's nice when you have other people's money. It does allow you to really breathe.
But also, in real life, I keep getting shown that angels are everywhere. Like, the people who sold me the car took $300 off and also made me food and also made me tea and I also made new friends.
It's like this person is just a mooch that completely has no pride at all. It's rare that you meet somebody that truly has no pride at all. It's almost admirable how little this person cares about any kind of independence. Like the GoFundMe said, I feel almost like this is just as rewarding for Roger as actual hard work and earning the money would be.
And also the friends that let me stay on their couch for a month.
Wait, you keep talking about you're going to be homeless, but you've been staying on friends' couches for a month?
And who have been taking care of my cats for longer.
And they've been taking care of the cats for longer? Well, how long was the cat getting tased? And weren't you just in the hotel room less than a month ago crying about the fact that you were having to go somewhere with your cats?
And I feel so bad for my cats, my poor cats.
What is happening, Roger? Why does everything turn out to be a lie with you?
And the angel who is letting me house sit so I have a place to stay for this next month. And the angel at U-Haul who started over my free month so I don't have to pay for, like, I have a little bit longer to pay.
How long did you cry at that U-Haul counter to make that person feel that bad for you? And for the person that's letting you stay in their house, I feel bad for them because I get the feeling you're the kind of person that can be a punishment to anybody that offers you a good deed. So I wouldn't be surprised if you end up trying to squat in their house after they get back.
Like, and I just keep meeting really beautiful people everywhere. And like, I really think that the internet and like the trenches of just like people's cruelty has really skewed my reality and like given me so much anxiety about like the kindness that's actually out there. Anyways, I just wanted to say thank you for all of you for existing and like thank you for all of the encouraging messages. And like I just keep thinking like, okay, I've been really brought down by my life like circumstances.
I don't know if Roger realizes it, but I think he's really the white woman that he pretends to hate.
And by getting screwed over by really cruel people, but there is kindness out there, and I know that my community is out there, and I know that y'all are out there. So thank you. And I'm just gonna take this one step at a time, and I just keep trying to not overthink myself into my brain hurting because that keeps bringing me down. But anyways, thank you for checking out my GoFundMe. Thank you for just being encouraging, and I hope that I keep reaching the cool, queer, artist, autistic people.
Notice how animated he is, and notice how he's able to really use his limbs all of a sudden. I thought our bodies were breaking down, and here, now that you have $4,000, I mean, I've known a lot of sick people in my life, Roger, and when they get money, it doesn't usually just heal them like that. It's almost like a miracle. It's almost like you got some money, and now your arms are working, and your legs are probably working too, but you're still gonna find a reason not to work because that's your kink.
All of the cool people who are interested in liberation, who are here to support me. So thank you so much, because honestly, it's been a really tough year and a half, and I've had to ask for a lot of help. And that's also been since my Saturn return started, and I literally have spent my whole life struggling to ask for help. And then now
all you do is ask for help. That's all you do now. You beat it. You're healed.
all I've been able to do is ask for help. So I'm learning a lot. Also this year, I found God.
You mean Allah. You're Muslim.
So, you know, there's a lot of really interesting things happening, but thank you so much for all of y'all's help, and please keep sharing my GoFundMe, and please keep checking out my shop, and please keep being kind to me. Thank you.
Yeah, Roger's everything that's wrong with the internet right now. That really is what it is. Now let's watch the video where this was, I believe it was May of 2023. And this is when Roger had to evacuate his first studio, I guess, or the studio before the last one that he's lying about most recently.
Due to some very serious threats, I have had to evacuate my studio. Last Wednesday, I received an anonymous message describing exactly where my house is, the car I drive, using my birth name, saying a whole bunch of other stuff I don't need to repeat.
See, this is where your story falls apart, because you're a big enough victim that if this were really happening, I believe you would tell us every single thing that they told you. Every single word, every single slur, every bit of transphobia. I truly do believe that that's the way that you would get your money, but you're not going to say anything that sounds convincing, and you're going to end up looking like a Jussie Smollett, so let's just not repeat it.
And I am in a very safe place. I am very well taken care of. I honestly couldn't have asked for better people or a better place to land with. I honestly feel super numb, and it's really hard for me to feel like an actual person right now, but I am very, very grateful for the safety net that I have right now. The best thing that you can do to support me right now,
You're needing support again. This was May of 23.
be one, to buy anything from my shop or send me any kind of mutual aid.
The shop, in my opinion, is a scam, because most recently there was the video where he said he didn't know when he was going to be able to do orders.
I want to say, like, you know, can you please buy from my shop? And also, I honestly don't know when I'm actually going to be able to get stuff to people.
Then he said he was going to be able to put out orders on October 1st. I didn't end up getting to download that video, but there was a video where he said that he was going to do it October 1st. And I'm sure that didn't go through because he's out of sorts and a mess. And then I saw another video on his TikTok from probably a year ago where Roger was asking people to stop bugging him about orders because he was going to get them out, but he hadn't got them out yet.
I would really appreciate if y'all would stop sending me emails asking for updates, especially when it says, hey, I know that you had to evacuate your studio, but like, where's my order? It's...
And then he finally ended up getting orders out, or he said he got orders out. Who knows? But I wouldn't trust buying anything from that store.
To help ease me in this transition and all of the moving expenses and move-in expenses that I have to deal with, that would be so, so helpful. And the second thing is, if you could just comment me positively impacting you, it would be nice to have a reminder of the positive impact I have on people versus just people wishing that I didn't exist at all.
What positive impact do you have on anybody, though? You're always asking for something. Like, what do you think you contribute? What do you think that you bring to the table? Because I have yet to see anything that's truly positive come from you. It's you either downing people or you trying to explain trans or whatever it is you're not. It's always something with you where it's like all just negative. I think people just watch you as a lol cow, as the kids would say at this point, because, well, you're getting money, so some people must be buying into that bullshit.
If you're trans, I just want to say that I love you, and I'm really glad that you're here, and I'm really thankful that I am trans and that I get to be a part of this community, and we really need to hold on to each other. This is a really wild ride that we're going through, and we need each other. So.
Okay, now I went ahead and downloaded this one because I truly do feel anything he says is the opposite of what he actually means. Like the Clarkson Lawson thing when he said,
I am going to say this one time and one time only.
Do not send Clarkson Lawson to my page.
But
Anybody in their right mind knows that if you ask the internet to do something, they're going to do the opposite.
we all knew that was going to happen. Now check out this one, because this one is full of inconsistencies.
I just hate being on social media.
Okay, then who's forcing you to be here? If you hate being on social media, you wouldn't be on it.
It makes me feel like I'm on a spotlight, and I don't like being on a spotlight.
You don't like being on a spotlight? Well, then why are you always trying to get people's attention on social media?
Like, if this was a theater show, I would be the director, not the star.
You've got main character syndrome, Roger. Stop trying to make it seem like you would rather be a behind the scenes person. You love being out front, and negative attention is better than no attention, and you're trying to get all the attention.
If this was like a symphony, I'd be the conductor, not first chair. You know? I literally get made fun of every single day, online and offline, for being autistic.
People aren't making fun of you for being autistic. People are tired of you because you are a true asshole. You are an energy vampire, and you don't understand that. Stop blaming it on autism. Stop blaming it on trans. Stop blaming it on being disabled. Stop blaming it on everything but what it is. You are just a horrible, horrible person. You're not a good person, and people see that on your social media presence, and they come for you. Stop lying to yourself. You have no real friends if nobody has told you that, yes, you are deserving of a lot of the treatment you get online, because we always get back what we put out, and you put out a lot of negative. You put out a lot of bad, and you lie to yourself about it, and apparently your friends, if you truly have any, lie to you about it too.
And I realized just how much I've been masking, like online in particular, and like y'all literally just like don't see so much of who I am.
No, Roger, this is the real you. We can all tell there's not a lot outside of that there, or you would show that. I truly do believe if there was more to show, you would show it. But this is the real you. A beggar, a person that's always condescending, a person that's always got excuses for why they can't do what they need to do, a person that always wants to be the victim. I personally don't even believe you suffer from true mental illness outside of maybe narcissistic personality disorder. I don't truly believe you are autistic. I don't truly believe you are bipolar. I don't truly believe that you're going through a hard time. I think that you've got a family somewhere that has a lot of money and is just probably tired of your antics, and if you would get your life together, they would do for you. But since you don't want to get your life together, they refuse to have you back home. That's what I think your story is.
And I don't like that. I just in general, like I just want to be myself fully, and I don't want to overanalyze. I don't want to seize up, and yeah, I'm gonna be made fun of for being autistic no matter what I do. I'm gonna be told that I'm being too vulnerable.
You never sound vulnerable. Sometimes you cry as a manipulation tactic, but it never seems vulnerable. Actually, most of the time you cry, it seems completely fake. And people all over TikTok have pointed out that you never really have tears. It's always crocodile tears with you.
I'm gonna be told that I sound too angry. I'm gonna be told that I'm too much in some shape or form, no matter what I do. And I don't care anymore. I really love who I am, and honestly, too much of me is beautiful. Like, if every time that I cut myself down, I become some shell of myself, and I don't like who I am. And yeah, I'm just gonna go with the whole, if I'm too much for you, find less. I am no longer cutting off corners of myself to be more palatable for people, especially in order to like be loved or whatever. You don't love me if I have to shrink myself for you.
That's a guilt trip. That's a manipulation.
So you can be here or you don't have to be here. I'm not going to make you be here, but I'm not going to change myself so that you stay.
All right, so I'm getting a little bit more worked up than I should right now, and I'm going to tell you guys what my thing is. I truly do believe that with all of the evidence that I've seen so far, I think that Roger, aka Azlan, aka Birdie, aka Aurora, that they are in the throes of addiction. Like I said, that's just my personal opinion, but I truly do believe that, and I think people should stop sending them money and let them hit rock bottom. And this is part of why I think that.
Today is World Mental Health Day, and I have cried a lot this week. I also relapsed on my sobriety journey, so it's been a really tough one. I ended up standing up to one of my
when I was a kid, and it just went really, really badly. So, you know what I'm doing? I'm painting things. I have really wanted pink headphones and pink clogs.
Okay, they just go on another tangent about things nobody cares about, pink headphones and pink clogs. Spoiler alert, by the end, they have spray painted their clogs and their headphones pink. But if you notice, they have lost more and more weight every video. They're wasting away. And I know that he's trying to attribute it to sickness, but I don't really know that that's the case. They look like shit. It has all of the indicators of a person that's dealing with addiction. They're always running out of money. They're always going through something mentally. If anybody here has ever been a mathematician before, you know that all of this behavior is tweaka behavior. So I have honestly come to believe that that is what's going on with Roger. Because believe me, when I say I went on a dive of their TikTok, I did that before and then I did it again just yesterday. But they took a bunch of stuff down, which I believe was them trying to hide the fact that they're always begging for stuff. Also, the behavior and what it is they display, I truly do believe that they are dealing with addiction, and I believe that if anybody that is pretending to care about them really cared about them, they would do for them what is always the best thing to do for an addict, which is to let them hit rock bottom. Yeah, it's gonna suck if you like the person, really watching them spiral that way, but it's what they need to do in order to get the help that they actually need to get. Roger himself admits that he's been living off your kindness for at least a year and a half. So when a person is going through that for a year and a half, it can't always be the internet. It can't always be mental illness. It can't always be autism. It can't always be transphobia. It just doesn't add up. And anybody that doesn't see that doesn't have common sense. And I hope Roger takes every dime of your money before he hits rock bottom, because you are that stupid and you deserve it for not being able to put it together that even if it's not addiction, there is definitely something going wrong there. And Roger needs to get actual help. He doesn't need more enabling. He doesn't need more money from you guys. He doesn't need $15,000, which, like I said, minimum wage person would have to work damn near a year for. So why don't you be an actual friend if you actually do like Roger? Stop contributing to his GoFundMe. Stop sending money to the Venmo, the Cash App, any of that stuff. Just completely, definitely, without a doubt, stop sending money and stop supporting this person. You are throwing good money after bad, and this person doesn't even provide positivity in exchange for constantly getting his bills paid. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. As always, this has been Ty Rivera, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world.
They bought into his bullshit.